Dr. Dawn Tarabochia invites us to engage with people around us. Dawn discusses volunteerism, and through the lens of her experience, we will be asking ourselves some very meaningful questions. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Dr. Dawn Tarabochia.
Thank you all for being here this evening. I'm honored to be able to share with you my passion for service and volunteerism. You may be wondering, why is someone from the university taking the time to talk about service? What does service have to do with Montana State University? MSU is a land-grant university as established by the Morrill Act. And as a land grant, the mission of MSU is to integrate education, creation of knowledge and art, and service to communities. Therefore, service is a component of my profession. Service can be provided at the university in a multitude of ways. We can provide service to our departments, to our college, to the university, and to the people of Montana. We provide service to our communities through formal or informal volunteerism and through the integration of our teaching and research. So, how did I become interested and ultimately passionate about service? My first encounter with the idea of service began in the 3rd grade. I had just moved back to Idaho, and I had yet to meet anybody my own age. So I got the opportunity to spend a lot of time with my maternal grandparents, Hank and Ida. We spent a lot of time hanging at their house, picking raspberries off the raspberry bushes, playing poker for pennies. But we also spent a lot of time at the Senior Citizen Center. My grandfather was on the board, and he had worked tirelessly to build a new building so that seniors in my community would have a place to go, to play music, to play cards, to build quilts, to sew, and to get a hot meal. Through his leadership and the hard work of many, this goal was reached, and the building that you see in this photo became the Blackfoot Senior Center. Besides the many, many bingo games that I played at the Senior Center, the one event that was held each year was the Senior Center Pancake Breakfast. This was a fundraiser, and it was a family event. My dad hosted, which meant he got to talk a lot. My grandparents and my mom cooked, and my brother and I, we got to wait the tables. There was nothing better than as a young child to be able to run around the Senior Center and to eat as many pancakes as I wanted. But as I aged, I learned about the services that the Senior Center provided to the community. And I saw the sense of purpose that it provided to my grandparents and to many others that spent time there. I ended up spending many summers at the Senior Center, and some of my best childhood memories come from the people I met. The volunteers who made lunches for not only those that could gather at the Senior Center, but for the Meals on Wheels program to serve those who could not. To the members who worked to raise funding for the center, or who worked on projects to benefit others in our community. And even Mr. Stalker, who brought cheer to others with his big and somewhat toothless grin, and a brown bag of candy. You guys all thought I was going to say alcohol, didn't you? He would stash it under his chair and share it with others as an after-meal treat. The larger lesson that I learned from my experiences and from observing the service of my grandparents is best expressed through this quote by Theodore Roosevelt: "Do what you can with what you have where you are." You see, my grandfather was slowly losing his ability to perform many of the tasks that he enjoyed due to physical limitations from injuries as his many years spent as a farmer. Being involved in the Senior Center provided him the opportunity to be with others and to help. It reminded him not of what he was losing, but rather what he still had. As my grandfather aged throughout his life course, he lost the ability to attend the Senior Center. and found other ways to fulfill his time through woodworking when he could. And at the very end of his life, he actually built quilts. So he would fight with an old Singer sewing machine, and he would plan all of these quilt tops, and then he would give the quilts away to other people. So I share with you this one lesson of service that my grandparents and my community provided to me. But there were really many more. And I believe that it was these lessons that ultimately led me to my profession and to a land-grant university. In preparing for tonight, I took the opportunity to reflect on the land-grant mission and what the opportunity to provide service has meant to me. And I realized that it provides me with a sense of purpose. A sense of purpose that was set down by my grandparents a few decades ago. And so I became curious. Is a sense of purpose important? How does purpose contribute to the aging process? Is there a relationship between volunteerism and purpose? I set out to seek the answers to these questions. And while I do not have all of the answers, I do have some. It begins with the fact that we are an aging world. We are an aging nation, and we are an aging state. Too often this fact is met with trepidation. How will we care for all these people as they age? While a legitimate question, an aging world also provides a different prospect, one of opportunity. And so I finally get to the main point of my talk tonight, the power of purpose. The Milken Institute Center for the Future of Aging has addressed the power of purpose as an avenue for aging in America. And they found some really interesting things. They found that as we age, many of us have an intrinsic urge to give back. The opportunity to give back appears to provide people with a sense of purpose, which has been linked to improved physical and mental well-being for seniors. And they have found that an engaged, purposeful senior population provides economic benefits through workplace contributions, taxation, and consumer impacts. It also provides immeasurable value in charitable and volunteer work. Countless seniors are making a difference in their community. They are embracing their later years with creativity, with purpose, and with passion. They are volunteers for social causes and for civic organizations. They are engaged in encore careers and are mentors for young people. And they are caregivers for each other. As Carl Jung once said, the afternoon of life is just as full of meaning as the morning. Only its meaning and purpose are different. Often, the greatest challenge, thank you, but I still have a couple more minutes. Often, the greatest challenges to volunteerism for seniors is finding opportunities that allow them to utilize their skills and life experiences. Volunteerism or service does not have to be about large endeavors. Rather, it is about doing what you can with what you have, depending on where you are. In addition to the opportunities I have at MSU to provide service, this slide represents some of the places that volunteerism has taken me. It has provided me the ability to engage with various sports organizations that my children have been involved in, to work with seniors through the integration of research and service, and to work with local nonprofit organizations such as Cancer Support Community. And while I value all of the opportunities that volunteerism and service has added to both my professional and my personal life, it truly hasn't been about the places that I have gone, or places that I have yet to go. Rather, it is the people that I have met along the way. Individuals who have modeled to me the importance of doing what you can with what you have, depending on where you are. No one else has modeled this to me more than my grandparents. And while my grandparents are now both gone, they are not forgotten, for they have left me with a passion for service and a sense of purpose. And so, I ask each of you sitting here this evening, what is your purpose? What will you do? Where are the places that you'll go? And who will you meet along the way? Thank you. Yes. Yes.
I have a question about what your ideas are. I think when we're at the university, students sometimes talk about being in the bubble. They know people who are their age, they hang out with people who are their age, and if they've moved from out of state or another part of Montana, they're sort of stuck in this age group. But I think you've spoken so eloquently about the value of intergenerational learning. So I'm wondering what kinds of ideas you have for bringing our MSU students into a more intergenerational space for learning and teaching.
That is an excellent question. And it is one that I'm actually passionate about in my research, is this idea of intergenerational learning and the fact that we all have something to give regardless of what year we were born. And I think that it was really one concrete idea that I can give you actually happened this past fall. I had the great opportunity to teach a class for Wonderlist, which is part of extended universities, and it's for those who are retired. And it was a fabulous and somewhat daunting experience to teach aging to those who are retired. I did it. But one of the great ideas that actually one of my class members came up with is they wanted me to reteach the class, but with college students and retirees. Some of my colleagues and I, Dr. Lux and I, have done some research with looking at taking early childhood students and how early childhood students interact with older adults and what they learn from each other. Another colleague of mine, Dr. Rebecca Colts, and I have done some work on well-being groups that utilized college counseling students, and some of our preliminary results have indicated that the college students learn just as much from the older adults as the older adults learned from them. So we're starting to begin to do some of that, and I would really like to be able to expand that research and be able to really do more with a larger group of students, because I think it's beneficial to everyone.